Hello, how are you? Welcome back to my home. You can always tell when I'm a little bit tired because my energy isn't the same. But I want to do this video anyways because it is okay for me not to be always so upbeat. And so my chat today is on about emotions. And maybe it's the seasons changing, but I felt a little emotional lately. And I don't know about you, but sometimes my emotions have me going on a roller coaster and I am just plain emotional. And I feel bad about my emotions sometimes, and I feel guilty for being emotional. And I was listening to Deepak Chopra and Oprah have a free meditation challenge. And this time around, they're doing their meditation challenge on success. And they had a day where they were talking about emotions. And listening to this meditation really allowed me to see my emotions in a different light. And so I want to share with you a little bit about what they talked about. And then I want to give you an example of how you can use your emotions to your advantage to give you light bulb moments to really better understanding yourself and your inner child and giving yourself those like light bulb moments. And I love those moments. So here goes nothing. So our emotions, instead of feeling guilty about them, Oprah and Deepak talk about using our emotions as an internal guide and rather looking at them as a subconscious gift, because our emotions help guide us in the direction to make decisions more easily. And if we rather use our emotions as an internal guide to making the right decisions and using our emotions as an ally, it will only benefit us. But we need to learn how to use our emotions as an ally and gain control of our emotions so that we can mentally check in and use them to create the best life possible and to create success for ourselves. So I broke it down into 8 steps to how to use our emotions. And the first is very simple: to be aware of our emotions. And when emotions are inevitable, we're gonna feel emotional at all points in time, whether it be negative or positive. So being aware of those emotions is the first step. The second step is to be grateful for that emotion, again, because it is our guide, guiding us in the right direction, allowing us to feel if we're on the right track or if we're not. And the third is to accept all emotions, whether it be negative or positive. Just let it come in, being aware of that emotion. And the fourth is to check in. And when we do feel those emotions, really recognize, how am I feeling right now? Am I feeling angry, anxious, happy, sad? But acknowledging how we feel is the first step to learning why we feel that way. Because emotions are meant to move, they're meant to flow. When we don't acknowledge and check in with our emotions, they get stuck in our beings and end up festering later or creating blockages in life. So checking in, recognizing how we feel brings us into our 5th step. The fifth step is why we feel that way. So recognizing how we feel and then asking ourselves, why do I feel this way? And keep asking why. I'm going to give an example when I'm done these steps so you can see how we use that to finally get to the root of what is causing our emotions. The 6th is just to breathe it through. If we can, take a step away from the situation so that we can be present and in alignment with ourselves. If you cannot pull yourself away, still breathe, bringing into our 7th step of self-care. If you can't bring yourself away or you can't deal with that emotion at that point in time, acknowledge to yourself what you are feeling, how you are feeling, and that you will in fact deal with it at a later point in time, because that self-acknowledgement and really being in this together with your emotions and your inner guide is so important, and follow through so that you will actually deal with that situation. And my last tip is just to be you. You are your emotions, so don't deny them, and you're in this together, so use them to your advantage to make sure that you are following your journey of happiness and success. So here's my example of how to ask yourself why to bring yourself into greater clarity. So let's say you're going into a business meeting and you're You've recognized your emotions and you've recognized that your emotion is anxiety. So you are feeling anxious about going into a meeting. First step, breathe. Well, I think that was 5 or 6, but we're at the breathing step and we are going to ask ourselves why. Why do I feel this way? I'm worried about what my boss will think. Why? Do you care about what your boss will think? Well, because I don't want to look foolish. I put a lot of work into this presentation. And why don't you want to look foolish? Well, because I care about my boss and what they would think, and I care about my job. And so what? So what if you do screw up? Well, I know this person thinks highly of me, and if I screw up, maybe they'll think I'm not intelligent or I'm not working hard, or worst case scenario, I may lose my job. And so what? So what if they don't think highly of you? And so what if you do lose your job? Would that mean anything less for you? And at the end of the day, that's when you start thinking, well, why am I tying what somebody else thinks of me to how I value myself? And those last whys, and so whats are what really bring you to those aha light bulb moments, to discovering your inner truth. And that technically your anxiety is linked to you believing that what somebody else thinks about you determines your value, your self-worth. And so what if you lose your job? Would you blame yourself for not working hard enough or for not being smart enough? And it's those realizations that allow you to put yourself into check, work on your self-confidence, and realize that it's okay. You are great. Your boss thinks you're wonderful. Or maybe your boss doesn't like you and you're not working hard enough. But these realizations and checking into those emotions, whether positive or negative, will bring you to lead you on a better path of self-realization or success, working harder and bringing you to where you need to be. So own your emotions, be an emotional disaster, because they make us so fascinating and bring us to greater enlightenment of ourselves. Enjoy your evening, and I wish you good and bad emotions and all of the clarity in the world. I love you. Bye.